Greetings, ladies and gents. 925 is a strange beast. A patch that appears to be very much needed, and yet that no one really wanted. So let's get into it. So 9.2.5 has already hit the PTR, and this is very telling because coming up we have the exciting announcement of whatever is next for World of Warcraft, where we're expecting to see whatever the next expansion has in store for us, be it, of course, dragons, be it Void Lords, be it the Light, be it a crazed Anduin who's got a drink problem and is just generally making trouble, and it ends up that we, as the brave heroes of Azeroth, have to go and collect him from Goldshire once again, and we have a side quest where we have to try and find his pants. Who knows? We may even see this mystical, magical Tinker class. But whatever we are actually going to get in the end, I think we all hoped it would be sooner. Now, personally, I haven't hated Shadowlands, far from it. I always think that the major part of any expansion is really the company you keep. We have been very lucky to get some amazing people into the guild this expansion, and so even with the grind of Torghast, it's all been fun. But that's not to say that I can't look at Shadowlands and see the faults. Shadowlands in a lot of ways is like it's a fully functioning car. It's fine. It gets you from A to B. You can go to the shops with it, you can go to work. It's fine. It's, as I say, it's functional. But it's just the fact that the seat of this damn car is filled with like pins and broken glass and stuff. So just when you're starting to enjoy it, you might even be, getting a feel for the road, you're putting your foot down a little bit, and you really start to actually go, do you know what? This isn't as bad as everybody makes out. And then bang, there it is. You get another pin stick in your ass, or you get a bit of broken glass digs into the bottom of your back, and you're just like, pulls you out of it. Realistically, the worst things about Shadowlands really has been the quality of life aspect. The soulbind power shenanigans, the covenants. Now, I like covenants. I have no real issue with locking borrowed powers behind them. If, of course, down the road, over time, they make it so that we can access all of them, make it easier and easier as expansion goes on, which is what they've done. Or at least give us access to that power early on. I'm fine with that. I don't mind being locked into a narrative story choice. And I'll be honest, most of the players moaning, the vast majority that are talking about, the Covenant not swapping, I can't get the full power of my character. Let's be honest here. Learning to play would get far more out of your class than just swapping from Flavor of the Month or Flavor of the Month. Because most players don't invest in one character anymore. People want to play all sorts of characters. There's nothing wrong with that. But then they moan that they're not min-maxing right at the very cutting edge, where they don't really need to be. But instead they parrot whatever high-level player is saying, and yes, it affects that high-level player. That 1% is everything at that level. That's when min-maxing truly counts. But does it really affect you when you're out doing your dailies or pushing a 10 or a 15 or a 6? No. But that is a rant for probably 100 separate videos, and I apologise.
Well then get your shit together! Get it all together and put it in a backpack! All your shit, so it's together. And if you gotta take it somewhere, take it somewhere, Take it to the shit store and sell it. Or put it in a shit museum. I don't care what you do. You just gotta get it together.
Now, yes, of course, the dream is that covenants and legendaries and all that borrowed power crap can just disappear. But if I'm being honest, not sure if Blizzard or in fairness, even us, the community, really know what that would look like. How do we even make that work? Sure, you can do it for an expansion, but can you keep something like that going? Building layer upon layer. Each expansion we expect something new, we expect more, but can you keep layering abilities and powers on top of that without the system just collapsing? But, again, I'm digressing.
Get your shit together!
Back to the PTR, and in some ways 10.0. I think the hope was that when the next expansion was announced, this big reveal that we're going to get, that would mean generally the release of Alpha. That would mean that not that far down the road, there was light at the end of the tunnel. Some crazy people hoping that this would mean an August release. I think the hopeful, thinking maybe November, December. Now, if we look at it, 9.2 has dropped almost 2 months ago now. That means we are most likely to see another 4 months of 9.2. That takes us to roughly July. If 9.25 is dropping then we'll get another 6 months? We're into like January at that point. Personally, I hope not. I think 6 months for 9.25 is far too long. I don't think many players will last that long. Now this sounds crazy because on the surface there's a lot of good ideas here in 9.25. But in terms of actual new content, in terms of us getting to experience something we haven't had before, it's very light on the ground. All 3 raids from Shadowlands will be scaled up and viable regarding gear. Okay, great, but it's not new. Those that spent months progressing on these boss kills, it's just going to be a short amount of time before that old muscle memory comes back. They start knowing how to sidestep those balls, and they know how to get sludge to slam into that pillar. And those bosses are going to go down real quick. And then do you really want to be farming these bosses again, over and over? Then we have, of course, the additions to M+. Mechagon is being dusted off. So is Karazhan. Plus 2 WoD dungeons to be voted for by the community. Link in the description if you want to go and vote on that one. Now, to me, Legion M+ worked because it was for a short period of time. It was something new and novel and a chance to munch down on some of those nostalgia berries. But the thing about nostalgia is it doesn't last long. Once it becomes the norm, it soon grows tiresome and boring. It just becomes another grind or another thing you've got to do. Also, and this is my greater fear with this, it just opens the door to Blizzard adding older dungeons to M+, rather than creating something new. I'd much rather that M+, if you're going to have that kind of thing from older dungeons, was actually part of the time walking experience. I cannot stand doing 5 time walking dungeons, because they're not difficult. They're just slam through, heroic, get your 5 done, walk out, get your chest, you get something nice, yay. If you didn't, that was a waste of time. Give us, during the period of time walking, 5 mythic time walking dungeons. And then once it's gone, we have to wait until it comes around again. And then it's something different when it does. Or, crazy to scale those older dungeons around, maybe solo play. For transmog runs, make that an option. There is a lot you can do. There is so much old content in this game, just ripe for something to be done with it. But this kind of feels more like a chance to use older content as a filler. The community are demanding, we want more to do, we need more dungeons, we're running the same ones non-stop. Oh, give them the Legion thing work, just give them more of the old dungeons. As I say, it's just filler without giving us anything that is actually really new. It's like a company that makes clothes, let's say, releasing their older designs and calling it classic. We're giving you the classic feel from our older catalogue, rather than actually taking the time to craft something new and interesting. And speaking of classic, that sadly weighs in on my point. How long did it take for classic to be crushed again? Jesus, we had 2 people killing Onyxia. You had people killing Ragnos doing the Iron Man challenge. Nostalgia is a powerful tool, and it will hook people. And this will be, I have no doubt, 925 people going, I love going back and visiting Karazhan, because I love Karazhan! Oh, actually, do you know what? Going to the Iron Docks, or whatever may be selected, was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. But that doesn't keep people playing. Might hook them for a short period of time, but it won't keep them. Of course, we have the big one. The big one for 925 is cross-faction play. And I'll be honest, if it comes to this, you're either in a very small minority that doesn't like the idea. They like the idea that there are factions and believe Blizzard should use that more. Or you're going to be in the other small minority that thinks that this will change everything and that you as an Alliance player can finally get that 5,000 mythic rating that, god damn it, you deserve. Or, in most likelihood, you're in the vast majority that just doesn't really care and just wants to run dungos. If this means you get faster queue times, fine, go for it. I'm not going to go into details on this because I've talked about it extensively in other videos. I think without guilds, this cross-faction is a huge band-aid feature that doesn't really fix the core issue of why you need to do cross-faction. It just papers over it. And it worries me that that's what 925 is. It's just a giant band-aid. It's a stepping stone that we can't drag 9.2 out for too long because people have basically done it. They've done the storyline. They're going to get their tier set shortly. They've got their double Legos. Now they're back to the same things they've already been doing. No new dungeons. The raid. Now the Band-Aid is fine. 925 is fine. If what you have planned for 10.0 with your big reveal, Blizz, is going to knock our socks off. Because this is meant to be Blizzard's signal of intent. This is the changing of the guard. It's showing us what the devs can really do when they sort of throw off the shackles of what was previously set in stone by the original developers of WoW. This is meant to be a whole new thing. Then go for it. Band-Aid away. I am all for that. I get it, 100%. Would I and the rest of the community rather that your art team is developing brand new amazing dungeons for 10.0? Yes! Of course, every WoW player wants that. We've got a lackluster 925 on the horizon, which gives even more importance to this announcement regarding 10.0. It really is taking on this, show us what you've got. Make this drudgery we're about to go through really worth it. Because nostalgia berries alone are only going to carry 9.2 and 9.25 for so long. But we shall wait and see. We shall wait and see what April 19th has in store. I am still very positive about it. I'm hoping we're going to see good stuff. I don't think it's going to be Dragon Empire that a lot of people are shouting about. But yeah, I think that's enough from me for now. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I will catch you all in the next video. Ladies, everyone.